Welcome to the HVAC Jerks with your hosts, Rich, Kevin, and Joe. You can email these guys at theboys@thehvacjerks.com.
Welcome, tradespeople of the world, to the HVAC Jerks Weekly Podcast. After 35 episodes, my name is still Rich, and that's still Kevin over there.
Hello.
And over here, as you know, we've got Anonymous Joe, who gets a new name every week.
Tradespeople of the world.
Tradespeople.
Is that
of the
a new
world.
intro?
Hey.
Well, hey, I'm just getting there.
Just checking.
Badass.
As you all know, Anonymous Joe gets a new name every week, so we can keep him sort of on a DL. Like
This is DL.
Anonymous.
It's like the podcast protection program.
Oh, yeah. This
the
is about as
PPP.
DL as Times Square.
You're in the PPP. So luckily, I was handed the secret envelope just moments before the show started with his new name. So let's see what that is.
Can't wait.
And
And
it looks like his name, Anonymous Joe's name for this week, is going to be Leapfrog Lenny.
I love it.
Now I feel better.
Leapfrog
Lenny. Here we go.
It's like, I can't wait to play Frogger.
Yep.
Like, leap.
All right,
Lenny,
we're
leap.
definitely losing constituents on this thing. No question about it.
By the way,
we're
let's
getting
not forget
stupider.
we're being filmed up there.
Oh, man.
Hello.
That's Anonymous Joe
Hey,
in the
Lenny.
middle there.
Lenny,
So-
relax.
So this is all new to us, the filming part of it. So we've been talking about this for a while, and we've
Oh, we're
tried
live?
a couple different things.
Is that
and it
what the
didn't
red
work.
light is over there?
But
Look at that.
hopefully this time it goes through. So anyway, this week, gentlemen, we'll be discussing warranties and why they suck.
Oh,
Yeah, so put your seatbelts on because this is Excitement 101.
this is.
We can
this
make
is
anything
good stuff.
exciting.
Just like Lenny the Leapfrog.
Leapfrog Lenny. So,
All right, here
so
we go.
want to talk a little bit about warranties because, just like I said, they suck.
What
And
is a warranty, Rich? Why don't you explain to our listening audience what a warranty and our viewing audience what a warranty is?
Sell me a warranty.
No. Tell us what a warranty
I'm
actually
talking
is.
about we as contractors or manufacturers reps or manufacturers sell a product. In this case, we're talking about contractors selling a product to a homeowner, and could be a furnace, could be a water heater or a boiler or something along those lines.
Car.
And we install it. We get paid for it. Where I'm not selling cars. Maybe you are on the side, but I'm not.
Dishwasher. Full
And
of brush.
You put the thing in. It works great. And
I
a
stick
week
it
later,
in.
they
It
call you
works
up and
great every
say,
time.
the fan's not working, it's not cooling, it's not heating, it's not doing whatever it's supposed to do, and then we have to go back as contractors and fix it on the warranty. And the part that sucks about it for us is that we're not getting paid for that most of the time. In some cases, some rare cases, we do get paid for labor, but when we do, it's not much. And why is your microphone falling all over the place?
I'm having a hard time. It's gravity. I talked about this in the last podcast.
This is a no gravity.
Gravity
phone,
is an MFer. No one gives gravity credit.
I'm going to call my wife, and you can have a discussion with her about gravity. She
Oh,
doesn't
talk
believe in
about
it, right?
gravity because
So, but anyway, with warranties,
This is going south fast.
no. Warranties suck
contractors
because
aren't getting paid for doing the labor. And what I really wanted to talk about is how manufacturers are getting more. I don't know what word do we want to use? Picky about what warranties they allow.
Well, they're getting stricter because
Stricter?
for a long time they've been
good word.
People have been taking advantage of goodwill. It's essentially goodwill to protect the product, to give the customer a little bit more reassurance about being able to buy that product. And warranty always gives that extra level of protection for the homeowner to feel satisfied about spending that money.
Makes them feel good that
Yes,
they've
of
got
course.
a
It's
warranty.
another level of certainty for them, right?
But
So I'm protected for the next 5 years, 10 years, lifetime, whatever the stipulations of the warranty is.
Now,
That's why I was asking you to explain a warranty. But
You're
go
better at
on.
that
You went
part
your
than I-
way, but go on.
so when we as contractors bring a part back to a supply house, or even to, in some cases, a manufacturer, a lot of times these days we're being asked, is this person the original homeowner? And
We always say no.
the
Wink,
reason
wink. We always say no.
the reason
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about this week, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
but
no, go
was
ahead.
that I had one 2 weeks ago. It was an indirect fired water heater where the coil went bad. It was only, 3 or 4 years old. Went back to the manufacturer. They said, yes, the date's approved. It's all on the warranty. Send it back or whatever. And then they called me back, or they called us back like a week later and said they did the research and found out that the person putting the claim in was not the original homeowner. they actually went through the records to find out that the house is owned by somebody else.
It's a
and they
database,
rejected it.
right? It's a database, so it's very easy to look up. You're sending them an application in with somebody's name on it. They're looking
Yes
at
and
serial
no.
number, and they automatically have that serial number attached to a name.
But now what happened was I had already spoken to the homeowner and said that the tank is under warranty, so they're going to replace that for free, and then you just have to pay us our labor. And then we did the job, and we went away. And then now I got to go back to the guy and say, look, they rejected the warranty. You owe us another $1,700.
Well,
How do you
that's a
handle that?
manufacturer problem. I
Now,
would go
this
back to
guy's not
them and
gonna pay
say,
it.
no, but I would go back to them and say, hey, we
No,
came
it's
to you
not a
first.
manufacturer problem. That's a
No, hold on.
that's a retail.
No, but we
That's
go back.
straight up with your customer problem.
Right.
That's what
Or,
that is.
no, but what I would say is at that point, as a contractor, have to honor it because you're the one giving that okay, right? You found
So,
out somebody
back to
gave
why
you an
we're doing
okay.
this podcast.
Right. Somebody gave you the okay, so you have to go back to them and say, listen, you guys goofed. Somebody's covering. The customer's not liable for this.
You know what the manufacturer's not going to care. They're going to
Well,
say,
that's a wholesale
sorry,
issue then.
Then it's between us and the wholesaler.
And that's a goodwill issue. And if you're a decent enough customer that they value your business, they'll eat a water heater.
So
But
do you
that's-
have to be a valued customer or do you just need to be a customer?
Well, that's a very fine line. And I understand where you're going with it because typically if it's somebody who they're not used to dealing with, they're going to ask all these questions up front, get everything they need in order to protect themselves.
This conversation you're referring to is the wholesaler
To the contractor.
to the contractor.
Correct.
Now, what about the conversation that's going to take place to the homeowner?
That's a tough one.
Who's talking to them at the end of this conversation?
Well, the always is going to be the contractor because
Pick your scenario.
any scenario.
Any scenario.
but
Who's going to talk to the homeowner
Okay.
and explain this
I got
correctly?
you. Well, here's the problem, right? The homeowner came to you and said, here's my water heater. You took the serial number and they asked you, is it under warranty? And I'm just creating a scenario. This is a hypothetical. You said, let me check. You looked at the serial number. Yes, this falls under the warranty clause.
Right.
Whether you ask that customer, are you the original owner or not, that's the big sticking point right there. So you have to know whether or not you asked that customer if you're the original owner.
Even if you ask them that question and you
it's a
remember
way
to ask
out.
them, most of the homeowners are going to say, oh, yeah, I was here.
Okay, so you lied to me.
Okay.
You gave me false information, and based on your false information, I presented this case to the manufacturer.
Prove me
They
wrong.
said, well, they'll ask you for a bill.
They're going to fight you to the end of the day.
Who's gonna fight
the
you?
homeowner?
It's the bottom line is this, and I've had this happen to me as a contractor, and it happened with a relative. And I actually got the first one taken care of, but when they came back, they were like, this guy's not even the original homeowner. You're asking me to warranty. This is a third indirect going into this building, and I think you ended up having the fourth one after that.
Yeah.
And they said the second one wasn't even his.
Right.
So, but I got it claimed only because at that point I still worked for the wholesaler.
Right.
So I was able to manipulate the
juice there,
system and do that. But ordinarily,
Inside pull.
ordinarily they'll
Joey
say,
the rake.
give us a date when they moved into the house. And I've been through that, especially with some of these indirect companies.
that's
They're notorious for them.
Especially bad.
Yeah.
Now, right.
But you're right, Kevin. This is a very hard predicament. At the end of the day, you're the homeowner's representative. You're not. You can't pass the buck.
Let me just add on to this story. Now, I just told you exactly what happened with this
Wait,
particular
there's
one.
more?
Yes, there's more.
Just a little bit more. This indirect, we discovered it was leaking after we had just
Explain
finished
indirect.
indirect fired water heater. If you have a boiler in your house,
No, don't explain it. This was podcast number 27, water heaters.
okay,
No, I'm
go
just
back to
kidding.
We don't
go back to the water heater episode. And,
If you're not caught up by now,
Yeah, you should be
you're
up to
out.
date, buddy, okay?
but okay, so
All
anyway,
right. So there's water and it gets hot in a tank.
Right.
Moving on.
we found out while we were working in the house, we found out that the indirect, it started leaking, whatever, it doesn't matter. So the water heater, the indirect, we found out was bad after we had just finished the $15,000 radiant floor heat job.
Oh.
So now the guy just gave us $15,000, and he went on vacation, and he said,
We need more.
do this while I'm gone. So we did the whole job, and now we did
Yeah, but
this.
that wasn't a repair.
No. But then I called the guy up when he was on a beach somewhere and said, hey,
I
we found
swear
out
my
what
guys
the leak
didn't
was. Right. So the tank is covered, but you're going to have to pay for the labor. And he said, okay. So now
How did you come to
plus the labor.
how did you come to the conclusion of the tank is covered?
I took the serial number,
Right.
and we called the supply house, and they called the manufacturer and found out that it was covered. So now they had to pay the original $15,000. Then they paid the original $15,000, then the labor on the indirect, and now they got to pay for the indirect too, which is another, like I said, another $1,700.
Well, all right, let's flip this for a minute. Let's take this from the side of the people making this product, because they're saying to the customer, look, we will warranty this product because you were willing to spend the money to buy it. Now you have a second party coming in who didn't spend it and wants the same guarantee because it's a warranty no matter what, right? That's always the position a homeowner's going to take.
Right.
Well, if you're warranting it for the first guy, why didn't you warranty it for me? Well, you didn't buy it. You didn't lay out the initial cost
the
for
thing.
this
The
thing.
homeowner's going to look at, this thing comes with a 7-year warranty. What's the difference? Who owns it?
The difference is you didn't lay out the money for it.
You buy a car, you take it off the lot, it loses 20%.
Well, I know
Exactly.
the flashlight just went on my
Right.
phone.
So, but
Your wife
the
calling?
irony is that they're covering the original cost of the person laying out the money.
Right.
That's the inception, or that's the process that warranty is based on. And
Suck it
and
up.
I work for a manufacturer, as we all know, and our policy is to the original homeowner. So
Now-
when it comes to that, we definitely require proof of residency and when you bought your home.
Okay.
Especially if it's something older. And I tell you the truth, I haven't run into this issue. We generally stand behind our product regardless.
Thursday morning, you will now.
Well, what's Thursday morning?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I got an
gonna
orange.
happen this week.
I
Yeah,
have an
But I
orange
can
one
tell you,
this weekend.
I've covered stuff that wasn't even our fault,
Yeah.
and my company is the one who said we'll take care of it anyway, regardless.
Is your phone ringing?
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, you guys got to give me a second
We're
here.
recording here.
Hold
Can
on.
I?
What are you
Hold on.
doing?
It's my mother. I got to
We're
take
live.
the call.
Yeah.
Hello,
Oh, Mama.
Ma.
Ma.
Hi, Ma. Is everything?
Joe, it's your mom.
Is everything okay?
Everything is fine. What are you doing?
I'm doing my podcasting. You know,
Hey, Ma, how you doing? It's Kevin.
I really can't talk right now.
I'm okay.
And Rich, what are you cooking?
He wants to.
Chicken and cutlet.
Oh, chicken cutlet. Okay.
Chicken and cutlet. I love it. Chicken and cutlet. It's my favorite.
So broccoli.
Yes, with broccoli. Very good.
We're gonna have to put her in.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you tell her we're gonna do a
To the
cookbook?
radio, Joe.
We make a podcast for people to help them fix the boiler.
Oh, really?
He
Yes.
said that in Italian. That was Ma. We tell people about boilers.
We're big shots now, Ma.
It never happened to me.
Okay, we're big shot. Now you're on the air too, so
You are just
all
as
the
famous.
thousands of people who listen to now know Anonymous Joe's mother. You're Anonymous Joe's mother. Everything okay? All right, I'll talk to you later.
Anonymous Mama.
Ciao, 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 ciao,
Ciao.
bye.
There we go.
No, sorry guys. Hey, Mama calls. You got to take the
Anonymous
call.
mom.
Yeah,
Right,
you
there we
gotta
go.
do. You gotta do.
Yeah,
Take
awesome.
care of
You gotta
business.
take the
We
call from
understand.
Mama.
We understand. How old are you? 58.
Yeah, 57. I'm still 12 in her eyes. So
All right. So, yeah, 100.
the problem. Let's go back
Hold
to
on, hold on.
Kevin.
He's got a Scooby-Doo
No, no.
lunchbox out, and he's eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
We never had Scooby Doo's, bro.
He's crying.
I can't.
He's crying.
No,
in his
let's-
Fritos
all right, since
right
we're
now.
going to change topics here to lunches, I came from an Italian household. We never got bologna and cheese sandwiches. We went to school with everything you could possibly have in
Chicken
a lunch.
cutlets.
My bag was so full; it was stapled at the top because you couldn't
Pasta
roll it closed.
fagioli.
I had
Came with a
eggplant.
bodyguard.
I had eggplant sandwiches. I don't understand. How could you eat lunch in 15 minutes? I got a fork. I went to school with silverware. It's ridiculous. A thermos of coffee. I mean, in 4th grade. I know I sound like
bottle of
Sebastian
wine.
Maniscalco. It's all true. It's all true. All right, so let's go back. I digress here back to this warranty
Yeah,
stuff.
let's bring it back. All right, get serious
So anyway, the object of warranties is to cover a product that a manufacturer makes, and the manufacturer, in a sense, is guaranteeing that product.
The purpose of a warranty is to cover your ass as the front man selling the product, because your reputation rides on the warranty that you promote.
Right, because brand is an issue, right, Kev?
No, I don't like branding.
That goes back to the
I
other
don't know what the- I
idea.
don't know what the hell you're talking
But-
about.
but
Reference
anyway,
all the old podcasts.
Yeah, but anyway, this is essentially to
If you're going to tag yourself with a brand,
whatever
if
it
you're-
is, whatever
if
it is.
you're going to latch
Let's
yourself
say-
onto one,
Let's say brand A doesn't make a difference.
doesn't matter what the brand is.
right,
The
each-
bottom line is you have to stand behind it just as much as they are willing
Right,
to.
and you know what? This is also very key too. A lot of these warranties are based on the price point. So the better your warranty, most likely, most of the time, the price point is going to be a little bit more, or sometimes they could be close to the same as you're paying for something else. So it doesn't hurt to shop around.
Well, Okay.
Like I can tell you right now,
I agree with that to a point.
No, but I can tell you that we provide for a certain model. We provide lifetime warranty, and our price point is.
But you train the shit out of everybody that comes across your.
But our price point is as low as everybody who doesn't provide lifetime warranty. So we give great value,
and that's their problem.
Right, it's their problem exactly.
That's right.
Good.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, it is. Kevin's point is it essentially it covers the contractor because he has a sense of freedom for that whatever time period that is. He is responsible, like he is for the rest of his job, to cover the labor for a year on the job. Let's say.
Right.
And that's the extent of his coverage for labor.
And honestly, to do that right, the contractor should be putting aside a certain percentage of that job.
Yeah, and we covered that too, right? You got to cover that in case you do have to go back to that job to repair.
There are some state laws about that.
We give 12 months.
Right. So
12 months on our work.
Exactly. So let's say the warranty is lifetime. So that means after 12 months, he has the ability to charge for his labor and time to go repair that thing. And the warranty. Now, here's where the people have a big problem. The people with a lot of these companies that give 7, 8, 10-year warranties.
Your mom's going to be really proud of you when she hears this.
Hold on.
She realizes what a podcast is.
Yeah, because my mother doesn't even have Wi-Fi, so or anything. But anyway, when
brothers don't stand a chance.
Here's where the biggest problem lies is when you have a product that doesn't have a lifetime warranty, and it gives you a fixed point of time, 5, 6, 8-year warranty. People think once they get their product warranted, the clock starts back to zero.
Oh, yeah. No.
It doesn't happen. It goes back to the point of if you're 6 years in, your new one starts at 6 years.
Right.
So if there's only 2 years left on that, that's all you're getting, even on the brand new one.
You get a brand new one, you get a 0.
Exactly, essentially.
They're like, we did it once.
No, but actually, manufacturers will honor the rest of that time remaining on their warranty.
Yeah, they'll give it to you, but after that, they're digging deep. They're digging deep to find out what your problems are.
Yes. And you and I spoke about this earlier that we went to a similar home and this was the 4th water heater and the manufacturer said, look, we got records here. We know what's going on. Yeah. We're not honoring any more warranties. We need to see water testing. There's something going on.
You can't blame them
we're
for
not.
That, sure.
Yeah, right. Because they're not in the business of giving stuff. Excuse me.
In reality, this whole subject comes down to a problem for the contractor most of the time. And really, when you explain it the way you just did, it shouldn't be a problem for us, but the contractors don't explain to the customer.
Well, I don't blame the contractor for that. I blame the person going in to sell it. A sales staff should be able to cover that warranty.
Which is really what I meant.
Sell.
No, but this is part of your sales problem, right? Because essentially you're going in to say, this is what we're going to do for you, and this is what's going to protect it when we do it for you.
Some of these jobs,
and go through that whole thing.
We've got 3 or 4 different products going in on one particular job, and everybody's got a different warranty. So how much time are you going to spend explaining each warranty?
And again, I'll go back to a contract, right? When Kevin writes a contract to a customer, it's explaining to the customer what they're getting.
Yes.
Right? And it's detailed for a specific reason.
Extremely detailed.
Right. When I used to draw contracts, what you weren't getting was bigger than what you were getting. So that there was no ambiguity. There was nothing to say, well, why didn't you give me it's on your contract. You read it. You signed it. I pointed all these out before you signed it to make sure you understood that if you wanted these were options.
And of course, they never remember that.
Of course,
but
no. But you have the piece of paper, as do they, right? So that's why a warranty is almost like a contract.
It is a contract.
We state both.
Right. So
in our contract, both.
But I think you would serve yourself much better as a contractor, and all you guys out there doing this, is to explain your warranties to your homeowners so that they don't have any unrealistic expectations of what to expect and what not to expect. So
this is what we're going to do.
Right. If you go through it with them before you leave the job or before the job is complete, or even at the inception when you're selling it, it's going to make such a better relationship for you because everybody knows where everybody stands before the project takes off.
Except that by the time the warranty actually comes into play or when you need it, it's probably 5 years down the line.
Regardless,
we
had the conversation.
The warranty with the manufacturer is a different issue than what Joe's talking about. He's talking about writing the contract.
Labor.
Right.
Okay.
He's talking about writing that contract to the customer. Make sure you're very specific in what you're talking about. So when I write my contract, I will tell them exactly what that value gets them.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if I say you have 4 Honeywell T4 thermostats. That's part of your contract, and then there's an additional cost of $600 to cover Wi-Fi thermostats.
Yeah, if you want to upgrade, exactly.
Right. So I will break that down within that contract. So here's your price.
Yep.
This is add-on costs. You want to go heat pump. You want to go mini split. Whatever it is, whatever the additional add-on is, we put that in there.
Yep.
As far as the manufacturer goes, that goes the day that the product is sold or installed, depending on when you register the product.
It typically goes on the installation date, but to make life easier for contractors who are out there, and I'm speaking in redundant terms because most people do it.
What's his name?
Slippery Slope.
Lenny.
No, it's called Slippery Slope today. Joe Slippery Slope. But what I would do, and what I used to do, is I used to put all the manufacturer's warranties in a binder for the customer. And say, this is for you to go over, this is for you to understand, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call our office. And they have every warranty for every product that you've installed in that home, and saying, there's nothing to guess here. It's all in black and white.
Okay,
No
so
excuses.
let's go to the next step now, especially
Shoot, baby, I'm ready.
equipment
What if
these
she's
days.
blind?
Furnaces, boilers,
Braille.
furnaces, boilers, all kinds of unitary products, water heaters. They want you registering them online.
Yep.
So do you leave that up to the customer, or do you do it yourself?
No. As you well know, in our last position.
I don't know much.
Yes, in our last position that we both held.
We all know.
It was a stated fact that we did not encourage contractors to fill out the stuff for the individual. And let me tell you why.
Everybody's
true.
scared.
And let me tell you why. No, scared or not
so
scared. Because
scared.
in the event
don't
that
push the kid on the swing, because you might get
in the
sued.
event that you fail to
I'm
do
gonna have a
that,
cookie.
in the event that you fail to, whatever the reason may be, you lost the paperwork on the way to work, somebody forgot to do it in the office, you now own that warranty. If you don't register the boiler for that customer, it's up to if it's a little old person or people that don't have internet and they don't want to do it through the mail, and you want to say, I will do this for you and make sure you process it, yes, I agree, do it for them. But typically it's up to the homeowner to get involved. When they get involved, they have more understanding of what they're getting involved in.
True. And that
You're
way
saying no, you're shaking your head. I know your office does it for them. It's because you have somebody diligent in your office that's doing it.
We have probably one of the most amazing secretaries on the planet.
She's not even a secretary. She's
an
your
office manager.
office manager.
She's
Right.
trouble.
Give her whatever title you want. She's a badass.
Right. But the point is, not everybody has that badass.
But that comes down to all of us participating in that situation. So we all have to get the numbers. Make sure she gets them. She takes them, processes them, puts them on the website, registers the customer's name.
That's
right?
a customer service that you're providing, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
We are not responsible for that whatsoever.
However, how many mom and pops out there, and I'll give you for a perfect example, how many times a day do you get interrupted or distracted through the course of your day?
Christ.
And this is exactly my point.
Right, but Rich just distracted me right now.
Right. So
Did you ask me a question?
Exactly. This is exactly my point. Where you have great intentions, but something happens and you forget.
The road to hell is
Paved with good intentions, right? So that's the moral of the story. By law, you actually absorb coverage of that warranty if you're telling your customer that I will take care of it for you and you fail to do so.
Well, knock on wood, we've been very diligent about it, and that is a priority for us. We do not
There's manufacturers, for example, like ours. We encourage you to register, but that's not a stipulation of warranty.
Okay, so most manufacturers
you can encourage, but
some specific warranty, and then if you register, you get an extra, 395 years.
98% of your homeowners are going to forget.
Do you know how we do it?
Do
you know how we do it? We encourage the contractor, because we reward them for doing it. Everyone that they sign up, they get a reward if they belong to a program.
That's interesting you say that, because I was just going to say another boiler manufacturer that I'm familiar with has a program where every time you sell one and you register the sale of that product to a specific residence, you get a $50 bonus or something, which is separate from the warranty thing. So
it has nothing to do with the warranty.
Right, but
it's a rewards program.
It seems to me like they want you to get in there, register this product on the contractor side, and they're encouraging you to do it on the customer side too.
So,
Well, no, it's all one page, right? So you're what you're doing is you go on and you're registering the boiler model number, the serial number, date of installation, date of commissioning.
But two separate things, though. One's for the contractor specifically.
No, because it's all on that paper. You're showing them where it's being installed.
I'm talking about a different manufacturer.
Okay,
so
but what I'm saying, what we do, we simplify it to make it easy for the contractor. So if they want to do it, they have to. We don't provide a scenario where a homeowner has to do it.
Leapfrog, Lenny, you have a...
So is there, like, proof that this actually works?
Yeah, we don't usually have issues with any of it.
Proof. What kind of proof would you like?
You see a positive turnout. Do you see that calling in and following through, that's paying off for you? Or for that manufacturer?
For that particular manufacturer, yeah. There's we get $50 for every boiler, and it turns out to be several $100
incentive program is paying off.
Yeah, I would say
you're getting good response. You're getting.
Well, aren't you getting stuff too from every time you guys register?
I don't have warranties with that product.
No. Just by registering the boiler through the sale.
We register product. We get there's an incentive program, but that's not why I do it.
No, but you're actually registering that boiler for that homeowner at the same time.
They want to know where the boiler goes. They want to know.
We register all products. Anything we install, we register for our customers.
Yeah, and we're actually saying...
It doesn't matter the brand. I don't care if it's $50 or...
But whatever, we're saying here, we appreciate your time to do it. Here's
I understand that, but that's an incentive program. So you're saying another company is doing that same or similar incentive program.
Right.
Is there a positive to that? And if there is... why are we not seeing it across the board for all products? Oil.
I'm not going to speak for them.
Hot water heater,
objective
tanks,
is.
and just anything. Like why?
Yeah.
I understand everybody's like sampling and trying to find new ways to generate and get sales.
I think
it's also a way to track stuff too. It's a way to really track how much progress you're or how much part of the market you're absorbing.
Or failure within the market.
I got a perfect example. Something else happened to me today. Ductless split. We put in a ductless.
Did you stop at the rest area on the way here?
No. Ductless split.
Is that an old stain or is that a new?
He's going through some kind of physical changeover on this side.
So we put it in a ductless split last week. It was a 3-zone system, and everything was fine. And then we got a call this morning that it stopped working. And we went through the whole process, figured out it was a board or something. And when we called the supply house, they told me that they had 3 other calls today, or over that 3 exact same units went out over the weekend, and they never had that before. So they were able to track down, all the units in that series within this certain period of time, and determine that they actually all went bad for some reason. So that's one of the reasons they register them. So when you have a problem, they can find them.
Absolutely.
So let's move to something else, though. Let's talk about extended warranties and third-party extended warranties, because I think that not all.
Do you sell third-party extended warranties?
No, I hate them.
Joe?
Never did.
Have you ever bought one?
No, I never. If I go to buy a camera at one of the big box stores and they don't work.
Let's just say Best Buy. Have you ever bought a camera at Best Buy?
I'm not going to talk about any brand specifically or any company specifically, but...
Well, Best Buy sold us a box of shit twice.
Well...
Is that not true?
No, it was a personal experience, right? And
my personal experience was that they sold us a box of shit, and the shit company that sold it to Best Buy would not stand behind the box. So we got shit.
They didn't warranty the product?
Nope.
Now, aside from that, I'm just going to say that...
I'm sorry. HVAC.
Most extended warranties that I've seen are through third parties. Now, I'm sure there's some manufacturers that sell their own. I think there was a water heater manufacturer that used to sell their own a while back. They used to offer it as they actually had a part number on it.
Let's just clarify one thing. Typically, a warranty is given for a product. Extended warranty are usually purchased after the sale.
Okay, I should have said
during
that,
the sale.
but you're right.
Yep.
Extended warranties that I've seen that I've lived through in this line of work has been torturous.
Yeah, a lot of them. make you jump through hoops to even get close to collecting something.
It's so much work, so much paperwork, and so much follow-up. And by the time you get it, it's only, a tenth of what it cost you to do the warranty work. It's just not worth it for anybody. So that's been my experience now. And we know a few third-party warranty companies that have gone out of business because they couldn't handle it either.
Right. The losses were crazy.
Yeah.
But there are some manufacturers who will give you offer an extended warranty for a price.
Absolutely. Well, this falls in.
You should start making names for him. Forget about me.
This falls into a topic of you get what you pay for.
Brand?
Yeah, that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother.
I gotta,
we should
don't we
do
have a topic like that coming up?
Well, we should do one.
Doesn't that fall
for
under?
sure.
Doesn't that fall under the brand topic?
No, Joe, just drop the brand thing, man.
We have
anyway.
a topic. That topic is actually
Listen
coming
here,
up
hula hoop.
in another few episodes.
How's Wednesday nights? Boardwalk's getting warm down there.
Yeah, I'll be there. Don't
Nights
worry.
are picking up, aren't they?
Many
All right.
manufacturers.
What about supply houses? A lot of supply houses will take I know of one in particular that will take back warranties on small parts and give you instant credit for that. If you bring back a circulator pump or an igniter or whatever it is that went bad, they'll give you the new one on the spot, and with the stipulation that if it turns out that it's the warranty's not accepted, if they send it all back to the factory and all that, then they'll charge you back. But that almost never happens.
Only because that's such a generally traded object.
Right.
So that they're never going to not have one to send back if they need one.
Yeah.
You're not going to sell, you're not going to be able to have a bunch of 300,000 BTU boilers laying around that you can send back.
But there's a lot of smaller supply houses that don't do that, and they make you buy the new product, and they'll submit your
most
old
supply
product
houses,
for credit.
most supply houses wait for their credit in order
And then the
to pay out their
contractor's
credit.
stuck with it. And then, so one of the points that I wanted to get across is we as contractors need to do a better job explaining to the customer that this appears to be under warranty, but I have to charge you for it now, and as I get the credit, we'll give the credit back to you.
Right.
Now, that's a tough conversation to have.
But that's fourfold.
But otherwise, you get stuck with it.
Right. Well, we're going to get stuck with it because
I'm stuck with a $1,700 indirect now.
If your supply house is telling you right off the bat that they're not going to give you the warranty back right away, to satisfy your immediate situation, then your supply house is not a beneficiary to you. They're looking out for their own interests and looking at their end. So if they're going to go, well, we got to get a water sample and we got to do all this and blah blah. Maybe in 3 months we'll get you an answer.
Yeah.
Well, that's bullshit. That's not looking out for me.
No, but
I'm the customer of them, and then I have a customer of me. Right. So if my customer is expecting an immediate answer, what do you do?
Well,
you say, you know what, Miss Johnson, I'm going to put the circulator in for free. I think it's under warranty. I'm going to take care of it. I'm not going to take any of your money.
Okay. So then you're going to eat the loss.
I have a reputation to uphold.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's fine when you're dealing with a part that is inconsequential.
That's fine. But if I go to a supply house and take it back to them and they go, well, you might have had bad water.
Some smaller supply houses probably do that.
There's supply houses that do it every day. Now, am I going to ride my reputation on my supply house, but fighting with a manufacturer, or am I just going to absorb the $85 circulator?
No, but that's fine. Yeah, and I agree with you.
No, it's not fine. This is where we lose money as a contractor.
I agree with you, but think about it in a context where you're dealing with a piece of equipment that's several $1,000s. If you keep taking hits like that, how long will you be in business?
Well, that's but now the supply
you're not
house
going to be
goes
in
through the
business
same thing,
long if you're taking hits on $85 parts.
Yeah, no, I get it, but there has to be that protocol that you have to set up with that customer. Like you said, alert them what's going on. If that's the business that, for example, you go to a supply house and you say, look, I
find a new supply house.
Yeah, well, you can, but a lot of them are taking the same policy, Kevin.
But think about this, though. I mean, where we happen to live, we've got hundreds of supply houses around, and they're big names. They're everywhere.
Right. That's a very good point.
Things.
When you're
if you're in Mitchell, South Dakota, in the middle of the state, and there's you got a population of 2,000 people there,
then
and
none
they
of
have
this
to have a supply house. That guy's not going to take all the abuse.
Then none of this is an issue. Everybody's doing what they got to do.
Right,
everybody's paying what they need to pay. Yeah.
It's a different animal. You're right.
But
this is a
we
product
have a lot of options here. Not everybody does.
First world problem, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
I think
What?
it's.
All right. What does that mean? We're done?
No, I
That's it?
think
Shut it down.
you have another.
All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming.
You have another
along.
very good point here. A lot of manufacturers believe that much of the warranty is created by poor installation or improper installation. As contractors,
You know that better than anybody.
As former
Yeah.
regional, we've been on many jobs.
Sure.
Kevin, how many jobs have you repaired because somebody else?
Hundreds.
Yeah.
Didn't you just tell me a story yesterday about?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
it's crazy.
a
What to say?
nonstop.
Yeah, and then
problem.
the manufacturer, because it's easier to blame the object, right? It's easier to blame the thing that broke,
Right.
because of the way it didn't break because
Yeah, you
of
can't
a poor
paperwork.
manufacturing.
The paperwork is in Japanese.
Right.
And when you go to the house,
The customer wants you to roll it off. You pull it off. You know, how many times you hear, you got to pull that thing off my wall. I want something new. I'm like, well, if we put something else off that wall and put it back the way that you have it put in now, you're going to be replacing this one in 2 months.
Not too long ago,
Right.
I just put a post up, a couple weeks back, a few weeks back maybe, and there's a gas line, black iron pipe coming down to like an appliance whip, yellow, flexible.
Yep.
Goes into the boiler drain of the
What?
tank.
What?
Yeah. No boiler drain, just directly tapped right in. And
Beautiful.
So you're like, how? What? Wait, no. Hold on, that's a joke. Is that Photoshop?
And it doesn't
Are
like
you? Holy shit, that's real, right? You look at it like 5 times, and you go, no, fuck. Can't be. No, come on. There's
all kinds of
nobody
stuff
out there. There's nobody
and
out
they
there.
can't figure out why it doesn't run. I know.
There's people out there doing it. So, and now you take that, and then you try to apply a warranty.
And here's the best part, right?
No
And
warranty
so,
there.
So now the supply house calls, the contractor calls the supply house. You got to do something. The homeowner's driving me crazy. They want the boiler off the wall. They want the hot water heater out of the building. They want the
Furnace.
Fujitsu off the wall or whatever mini split you got up there. And then the supply house calls the manufacturer or the manufacturer's rep, and then they go out to the job, and it's typically somebody they know, and they don't want to throw the contractor under the bus, and where they really should, because if they're doing
the abuse.
so the manufacturer's rep, 9 out of 10 times will take the hit, because they want to keep the business. But when that's happened to me, as soon as I go outside with that contractor, I'm like, this is it. If you don't come to school and learn how to put these in, I will call your supply house and tell them never to sell our product to you again.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair to the homeowner. It's not fair to people laying out the money.
No.
And then because it's like Kevin hiring a guy, and Kevin, I'm telling him to do something, and then the guy does everything but what he told him, and it ends up hurting his reputation. It's impossible. You can't sustain business that way. So it's incumbent to learn what you're doing, follow the directions. They're there for a reason. And, at the end of the day, you won't have to worry about warranties. If there is a manufacturer's defect, the manufacturers will pick up the tab.
Yep.
And I can tell you from my own personal experience, if it's in a relative short amount of time within the first 2-3 years, I've even compensated homeowners for their trouble. I've compensated.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I've compensated contractors for their labor on the part where they're not being covered because it's within a certain amount of time.
Yep.
So if it's a reputable company and a reputable product, they will do the right thing in order to make sure you're solid, and you're okay. And then that just makes your reputation even better.
So do your research. If you're out there selling a product line, there's a lot of brands out there that will talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, there's only a handful that will actually follow it up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. So whatever it is you're out there selling, or your name's on the line. So match it up with something good.
And Kevin and I can speak from personal experience.
I want to drop names, but I can't.
No. One of the first jobs that Kevin did with our product was a repair and a replacement.
Goddamn mess.
Because it was so bad, and the homeowners were screaming at me because I'm the manufacturer.
Right.
This is we paid a ton of money for this, and this has been a problem since day one. And when we went to look at the job, it was like, we know why you've been spending.
It was upside down.
Yeah, pretty much. For the most part.
It's like when we went, relief valve.
Yeah, when we went to that one job for the mini split, and they were like, this thing is leaking all over the place.
It's not a drain.
And the head was mounted upside down. So, You know what you're doing. So, but anyway, that's all I have to say on warranties. I think I talked both sides of the
Education,
time.
You thought that warranties was going to be boring.
Yeah, I could go on for actually a little bit more time with this.
you thought
This is
this
pretty
was
good.
gonna be better.
You guys, none about my install.
No, Kevin's the guy I usually call to say, come help me, because this is a disaster over here. So
All right, well,
do your shit right. Get it done. Stand by your manufacturer, and your manufacturer should stand by you.
all right, well, let's pull the plug on this one. All right.
we're done.
Thanks for spending some time with us again, and send us an email if you want a couple of stickers, or you just want to suggest a top secret name for Anonymous Joe, or even if you want to tell us how bad the monologue is. So now Joe's going to send in an email.
Oh, I'll be. I'm calling everybody I know.
He sent 5 in. You haven't got any?
Don't forget Facebook and Instagram, and check out Delta T Creative if you need a new website. And be sure to join us again next week when Anonymous Joe tells us about the time he needed to disappear in the Chinese city of Chongqing by taking a job as a line cook named Wah. Have a great week.
Wait.
See
We're
you.
on YouTube too. Don't forget YouTube.
YouTube also. Have a great
See
week.
you. Wah.
You guys are jerks.
Follow the HVAC Jerks on Facebook and Instagram.